Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 3. This is for episode 14, El Matadero, which means the Slaughter Yard. And spoiler warning, if you guys have not seen this episode yet, you definitely want to watch it before you watch this review. And this one does contain a major character death, so heads up if you guys haven't seen the episode yet. Really, spoilers for this one, because, you know, some spoilers are bigger than others. This is a pretty big one, since it is a character, of course, that's been around since the first season. In this episode, we see the last episode for Mercedes Mason character, Ophelia. So this one we have predicted this one for a little while. You know, it's something that just kind of made sense when you think about it, that you may do a thing where Daniel and Ophelia have been separated so long since the mid-season finale for season 2. So it's been like a season and a half they have not seen each other again. And, you know, kind of being far away like that, I think it made a lot of sense they do this, which is to basically, you know, it's kind of a classic, I don't know if there's a word for it in terms of writing or storytelling, but, you know, maybe tragic irony that they almost get right back together. They almost get to see each other again, and just before she's able to see her father, she's killed off of the series. So we find out that she had been bitten in what happened in episode 13, and with this being episode 14, she's just about to see her dad again, and when he rolls up, that's when she basically passes out and begins the switch, so to speak. Which, you know, it worked out well, even though it was a little bit, you know, I'm going to say predictable, but, you know, you could definitely see it happening. You could definitely see it. So the only thing is that they did a good job of not telegraphing it too much last week. You know, I kind of figured some of this was going to happen, but I didn't know how, and I certainly didn't think that she would have already had been bitten in episode 13, and we just didn't see it. But it was really sad to see those scenes when Ruben Blades' character Daniel sees her, and you know, it's like that's their being reunited, and he's the one that has to put her down, and he doesn't hesitate really to take the shot as Madison is walking away. But definitely that's one of the saddest scenes I think we've had so far in Fear the Walking Dead, right up there with maybe like the season 1 finale was pretty sad, where Travis loses his first wife before you know, going with Madison and that. Is it Liza? Is that her name? Yeah, I think so. So it was a tragic episode. It was a sad episode, sad death, but they had some other fun stuff in it too to really mix it up. So that was all really sad. Talka's last scene with her and that kind of thing, as he says goodbye to her. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Talka going forward, and what he's going to want to do, and how, you know, much fight he has left in him after losing everything himself, because he, just like Daniel, has lost basically everything at this point, all of his people and everybody. He had more to lose, you know, a few episodes ago or at the mid-season, and now he's basically lost everybody. So, you know, tragic episode for sure from their standpoint, is what it was. So let's go into the stuff with Nick and Troy, which was really fun. We see Nick basically, you don't want to say relapse, but with all the craziness going on, with not being able to get Alicia to come back, with just Ophelia dying, and just all of just the insanity that's going on, so much, you know, pain in every direction for him. You know, when he's given the opportunity, he quickly slips back into, you know, his what he does. He switches into his painkiller mode and takes his painkiller, so to speak, which is, of course, for him is just about any kind of drug he can find. So first taking, you know, mad downers, you know, and I really like the way they filmed it, where it's all like fuzzied out, you know, very blurry, and just like, you know, like slow motion, and you hear the voices kind of in the background, that kind of stuff. I thought that was a really nice touch. They did that in episode 13 as well too, with the air, and really smart, really looked good, and I liked it in this one. But it's just some really funny stuff in it with Nick and Troy that made the episode entertaining, I feel like, and, you know, had it a good mix, because it could have been really, really sad if you just focused only on the stuff with Ophelia. So it was pretty funny. I like the part when they, you know, they take the mad adrenaline upper, and also the title, the Slaughter Yard, actually refers to, like, you know, a spot where they can get their fix, so to speak. And you see all these people around, and the guy's got like everything you could possibly want. It was just some pretty funny scenes when they go out there, they get into the zombie herd, and especially with the news earlier today that we are going to see a character character cross over from Fear the Walking Dead to The Walking Dead, or vice versa. We don't know which, but we know that in the next year or two they're going to cross over. Someone's going to cross over. I think scenes like this are really cool to really add to that fan theory that we are seeing the birth of the Whisperers, the more that Nick kind of becomes obsessed with, because now he isn't just, looking for the drugs, but he takes the drugs, takes the uppers, and then he wants to go out and just kind of roam around and walk around in the zombies. They like climb the fence and stuff because they're all hopped up in their crazy adrenaline. And then they kind of go, and he just kind of starts walking and stuff like this. And he's talking too loud. I'm thinking to myself, you got to whisper, man. You got to whisper. But it's kind of cool. If you didn't see the video earlier today, it's in the channel right now. I have it in the end screen credits for you guys. You got to watch that one. That's more important than this episode even, because the fact that Fear is going to cross over with The Walking Dead is just huge, and the ramifications of them possibly being the Whisperers. And the more we get to see this kind of thing, I think the better it is. But I just really enjoyed all of the Nick and Troy scenes in this one. Thought they were really well done, and at parts were definitely lots of fun. So that was good stuff. The stuff with Alicia. So Alicia meets a new friend who I'm not sure if she's even named yet. But she's got the pickaxe, which is pretty cool. We saw her in the sneak peek. I like the part where they're at the burger place, and they're like, in the kids' toys, the play balls, where you go and kind of hiding, and then of course there's a zombie in there with her, and she doesn't know, and then she can kill that one, and then the lady comes through, and she's not sure if she can trust her, so it's pretty exciting. And then she kind of gives her a chance. They both kind of take a risk, and they get to share the food that they did find. Just to keep where they're at, and she kind of lets Alicia know that she's been collecting these rings, and she's been collecting, the gold because she can use it for trade. And I like the mention of her hair, right? If you consider trading your hair, she's like, don't even think about it. She just have sweet hair, so that's what it is. So it's definitely worth something, that's for sure. So that was good. All the reveals with Ophelia getting sick were definitely sad as well too, like I said. And there was a nice kind of line drop from Strand where he says, "Our better angels are all dead," which I thought was kind of cool, because that episode the finale or episode before the finale? It's like the finale for season 2. It's just before in the original Walking Dead, where Rick and Shane's last episode was called Better Angels, so it's the second last episode of season 2. So that was kind of a cool Easter egg drop for them to put that in there. It was kind of neat, and it was kind of cool for them to add that in there. The score in the episode was really good. I really liked some of the music they used, especially part way through and everything. Just thought it really felt the mood was really, helped set the mood, was really, really good. Let's see, going on from there. We had the stuff with Strand. So in Strand, in this one, kind of goes off on his own, seems to have his own kind of intentions, which are kind of in this episode against that of the surviving group that we got to see. He's kind of about Proctor John, who we did also find out that we were going to see kind of the introduction of a new major villain in Fear. So I'm assuming Proctor John is probably that. Dave Erickson, the showrunner, up to the end of season 3, so for a couple more episodes here, and then it's going to be switching from him. He's going to be leaving the show, so it should have a way different feel next year. But anyway, he did say that there's going to be a major villain introduced in Fear, so I'm thinking Proctor John is probably that villain who Strand talks about in this one. We can see a little bit in the preview video. Of course, in an hour, I'll be back with you guys for the predictions for what I think we're going to see in the finale, because don't forget, next weekend is the double finale for Fear, which is also really exciting. And, Fear has a really interesting... I like the things that set Fear apart. I like, that Nick has this drug thing. You get to see them kind of do this whisper thing. We never seen anything like that in the original Walking Dead. I like Daniel's character. There's a lot of things about Fear that I do like because it is different. Location, everything. And this one, you do get to see some cool different spots and some cool different locations. The marketplace is a cool one. And... we'll get more into the predictions for the finale, but it looks pretty exciting. And it looks like Strand in this one sells out the group that he's Madison, Daniel, and the others. It looks to me like he basically sells them out for a chance to be kind of more powerful, right? To be part of Proctor John's thing or something like this. When Madison had already paid to get him out. So this is where Daniel and Strand have this weird relationship. But Daniel, he knows Strand, and he's been right. Even to this point where I actually thought that Strand wouldn't do something like this. he actually is selling out his own group. He's selling out Madison, he's selling out the others, and he's putting them all in danger, as well as Lola, Daniel, and all the others at the dam, to basically tell Proctor John about what's going on here. So we're going to have to see a little bit more about how that went and what happens here, but it looks like in the finale, Proctor John's group may attack the dam to try to take it over because, of course, water being, the most valuable resource in the dam, having absolutely so much. Question, of course, whether or not Daniel and the others are going to be able to fight off Proctor John and all of his people. Doesn't look like they have quite enough to fight them off if you guys see the preview there. But we'll get into that a little bit more later. Daniel, of course, going to see Madison at the end, and him still, allowing them to come through, allowing them to join the damn group makes a lot of sense, I think, as well, too. And, her telling her about Alicia, that kind of thing, and not being able to blame her, of course. Tell you that she loved you and she was looking forward to getting to know you. Those are some of the final words from Ophelia. And that's basically it. Do what you need to. So you have Troy and Nicholas that are going to stay, get high, basically have some fun. And Madison at this point is basically saying that I think she's kind of coming to grips now that she can't hold her kids close to her all the time. She has to kind of let them go and give them their own freedom so that they can, explore, adventure, and become independent in and of their own in this kind of coming of age in a zombie apocalypse. So that's kind of interesting. And, something that even in the real world parents have to deal with, which is where when kids are probably in their early 20s or mid 20s or maybe 30s, if it takes a little while, leave the home, get their own place, whatever, get a job, whatever, get a career, this kind of thing. In a zombie apocalypse, a little bit different than that, but we're seeing something similar in terms of the drama, that kind of situation with Madison, and her having to let go and giving them their own space, even if it's just to get high all day and do whatever Nick has to do in order to get himself right again. So, and her kind of accepting that she can't always protect them, and even if she tries to, it may not work anyway. She's got to let them live their life their way. So in terms of this episode, I thought it was a pretty good mix of an episode. You get the major character death, you get some fun stuff with Nick and Troy, you get some new development with this Proctor John character and Strand, potentially selling out the group or selling out the damn group, depending on how you want to look at this. But if Madison and the others are going to join the dam, then it's kind of selling them out too, or at the very least putting them in a lot of danger, because this guy sounds like he's a very dangerous man. So I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. Thought it was a really good episode, a great score, really good stuff, a nice mix, and I did enjoy it. I'm looking forward heavily to the finale, but I'm not expecting too much anymore this season, because I feel like they really could have stretched out the whole season if they wanted to and made episode like 12 and 13 kind of the finale and just stretched it. But they didn't do that. They gave us a little bit more. They added some more things in here and created a really fast-paced season that maybe in terms of Walking Dead parallels or is most similar to season 3, where you have all this crazy stuff happening. You have, it's really fast-paced and everything. So it's exciting to watch a season like this. They probably can't do it every year, but it's very exciting to see something like this. I've really enjoyed this season a lot. So next weekend will be the last weekend for Fear the Walking Dead season 3, guys. I hope you've been enjoying the season, and of course you'll come back for the review. 1 hour, be back for the predictions video. Check out the videos today, trailer for the channel for season 8 of the channels. Is the 8th year for Trev's Chan 2, so it's in end videos here for you guys, as well as the video about the crossover, and I'll be back again soon for the predictions in about an hour. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. I'll see you guys soon.